The Nintendo Switch is basically a nostalgia machine at this point, and if you grew up pumping quarters into arcade cabinets, you're going to love what's on this list. Today, we're counting down the top 10 best nostalgia arcade games on the Switch. Let's get into it. Wild Guns Reloaded. Picture a Wild West gone full sci-fi. Robots, mechs, and outlaws running loose across a futuristic frontier. You play as Annie, a young woman out for revenge after a notorious gang destroyed everything she had. And she teams up with a sharpshooter named Clint to settle the score. Wild Guns Reloaded is a gallery shooter, meaning you're locked in the foreground while enemies come at you from the background. You move your gun cursor to shoot while dodging bullets, tossing a lasso to stun enemies, and doing quick dodge rolls to survive. You can even shoot enemy bullets out of the air. The Reloaded version adds 2 new characters, including Bullet the dog, brings 4-player co-op, new stages, and new bosses. Power-ups drop randomly, so every run feels slightly different. It's short, it's tough, and chasing a high score keeps pulling you back in. If you've ever enjoyed gallery shooters like Cabal or Blood Bros, this is as good as the genre gets. Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons. This one's not your typical Double Dragon. Set in a nuclear-devastated New York in the year 1990X, the streets are completely taken over by 4 ruthless gangs. Billy and Jimmy Lee aren't going to sit back and watch. They're taking every single one of them down. What makes Gaiden stand out is that it mashes the classic side-scrolling beat-em-up format with roguelite mechanics. You pick 2 characters and tag between them mid-fight, and the order in which you take on the gangs actually changes the difficulty of each mission. After beating bosses, you spend tokens on upgrades, or save them to unlock new characters. There are 13 in total. Each character plays completely differently. Marion leans on a ranged rocket launcher. Uncle Matten is a heavy, slow brawler who can block bullets, while Billy is your well-rounded street fighter. Imagine opening a dusty box at a garage sale and finding an entire console's worth of games you've never heard of. That's exactly what UFO 50 is. It's a collection of 50 fully original games built to look and feel like they were made by a fictional game studio called UFO Soft between 1982 and 1989. Every genre you can think of is in here: platformers, shoot-'em-ups, RPGs, sports games, puzzle games, and more. Each one is built with just a D-pad and 2 buttons, with no tutorials or hand-holding. You explore them like you actually discovered lost relics. Some games are short 30-minute experiences. Others are 15-hour RPGs. Beat a game and you earn a gold cartridge. Go above and beyond. Highest score, full completion, and you get the coveted cherry. The whole collection is only $25 and was made by 6 indie developers over 8 years, including Derek Yu, the creator of Spelunky. Final Vendetta. This one goes straight back to the roots. Final Vendetta is a love letter to 90s arcade brawlers like Final Fight and Streets of Rage, set in the grimy streets of London. Claire Sparks' younger sister gets kidnapped by the Syndic 8 gang, and she's not paying any ransom. You choose from 3 characters: Claire, a quick and nimble martial artist; Duke, a street brawler who balances speed and power; and Miller, a massive ex-pro wrestler who hits hard but moves slow. You fight through 6 stages packed with enemies, sub-bosses, and full boss battles at the end of each. There's no continue system. Lose all your lives and you restart from stage 1, just like the arcade days. The combat rewards precision: blocking, dashing, dodging, juggling, and a combo chain that only breaks if you get knocked down. A tight techno soundtrack featuring exclusive tracks from Utah Saints keeps the energy punching the whole time. Sonic Mania Plus is the Sonic game fans had been waiting decades for. Developed by a team of passionate indie devs who grew up on the classics, it captures everything that made the original Genesis games great: tight controls, momentum-based platforming, and zones that reward exploration. The story is simple. Dr. Eggman's hard-boiled heavies have discovered a powerful Phantom Ruby, and chaos follows. You run through 12 zones across 2 acts each, fighting classic and fresh bosses along the way. The Plus version adds Mighty the Armadillo, who can ground pound and is immune to spikes, and Ray the Flying Squirrel, who glides through the air in a way that takes real skill to control. It also includes Encore mode, which remixes the zones with new layouts, relocated ring positions, and a tag character system where you run with 2 characters at once and swap between them mid-stage. Huntdown drops you into a neon-soaked, dystopian future that feels like every 80s action movie rolled into one. Crime gangs control the city, and the police are useless, so 3 bounty hunters are sent in to clean things up. You pick from Anaconda, John Sawyer, or Mo Man, each one loaded with one-liners and a unique primary weapon. The gameplay is a side-scrolling run-and-gun, but what sets it apart is the cover system. You can duck into doorways, crouch behind crates, and pop out to return fire in tense shootouts. Enemies use the same cover against you. You can dash to avoid attacks, slide through crowds, and pick up secondary weapons scattered across the levels. Shotguns, rocket launchers, flamethrowers, and more. Each zone is controlled by a different gang with a wild boss at the end, and every single boss fight is memorable.
Can't you tell I've got crazy in my eyes? Bounty hunters are coming!
This one is for everyone who grew up watching He-Man on Saturday mornings and dreamed of a proper arcade brawler for the franchise. Well, it's finally here. Developed by Bitmap Bureau, the same studio behind Final Vendetta, Dragon Pearl of Destruction is a 2D beat-em-up set in Eternia. Skeletor has uncovered an ancient relic called the Dragon Pearl of Destruction, and with Evil Lyn at his side, he plans to use it to plunge the entire world into darkness. You take control of He-Man, Teela, or Man-at-Arms across 12 stages that span locations like the Royal Palace, the Vine Jungle, and the dark corridors of Snake Mountain. Each character has their own moveset, magic attacks, and screen-clearing specials. He-Man can even mount Battle Cat to tear through enemies. Deep-cut villains like Beastman, Trapjaw, Shakoti, and the Shadow Beasts all show up. If you never got the chance to play the DS Castlevania games, this collection is genuinely one of the best things on the Switch. It bundles together 3 classic Metroidvania titles, Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia, plus a bonus arcade game and a brand new remake. Dawn of Sorrow has you playing as Soma Cruz, collecting monster souls to power up as you explore Dracula's castle. Portrait of Ruin switches it up with a dual character system. You play as Jonathan and Charlotte, swapping between them to solve puzzles and tackle different playstyles across a castle full of paintings that transport you to entirely different worlds. Order of Ecclesia is the crown jewel, harder, faster, and built around a deep glyph system where your entire moveset comes from magic inscribed on your character. On top of all 3, there's a full remake of the original Haunted Castle arcade game called Haunted Castle Revisited, which is essentially a brand new Castlevania built from scratch. For a long time, people genuinely thought these games would never come back due to licensing complications between Marvel and Capcom. Then, out of nowhere, this collection dropped, and the internet lost its mind. And for good reason. You get 7 classic arcade games in one package. X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes, and the Punisher beat-em-up as a bonus. Playing them in order shows you the entire evolution of tag team fighting game design, from 1993 to 2000. MVC2 alone, with 56 characters and chaotic 3-on-3 combat, could justify the purchase by itself. Each game is presented in its original arcade form, with Japanese and English versions, CRT filters, music players, art galleries, training modes, and most importantly, rollback netcode for smooth online play.
Behold, Optic Blast!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Bebop and Rocksteady steal the pieces of Krang's robot suit while Shredder orchestrates chaos across New York City. You pick from the 4 Turtles, Splinter, April O'Neil, or Casey Jones, each one with a fully unique moveset and playstyle, and fight through 16 stages from Manhattan streets to Coney Island to Dimension X. The combat is the highlight. You can charge attacks, dash, slide, double jump, drop kick, rising tackle, grab and juggle enemies, and unleash powerful super attacks. In story mode, each character levels up as you play, unlocking new abilities and health boosts. In arcade mode, it's limited lives and pure challenge. Up to 6 players can play together at once, making it maybe the best couch co-op experience on the Switch. And that's the list. The Switch is absolutely stacked for anyone chasing that arcade nostalgia feeling. Let me know in the comments which one's your favorite. If you haven't played any of these yet, start with number 1. Trust me on that. Like and subscribe for more. See you next time.